Hola, ¿qué tal? My name is Antonio Pulgarin, and I'm a 2020 Workspace Resident here at Baxter St Camera Club in New York. Sort of the dual language aspect of the title, Whispers of the Caballeros. Caballero in Spanish, really, in the way that it's used, is sort of a slang for a strong, masculine, machismo individual. It adheres to this notion of masculinity that is so very much put on a pedestal within Latinx culture. The title itself was inspired in part by the way I really sort of grew up consuming queer imagery, vintage homoerotic magazines, flyers, posters on the walls of queer spaces that I inhabited during my youth and even today as an adult. Really looking at the idea of the pages, the archive being represented in these fragile, tangible, printed moments. Putting that in context or in juxtaposition with the term whispers, where there's something feminizing the term caballeros and adding sort of a feminine touch to it. So I think that wording together is really important. Because of the funding and the support provided by the Baxter St Residency, I was able to be a creative artist. I was able to really focus on my practice. And I got to reflect on the way that the frame was not really this accessible visual item for me as a child. I always consumed photographs either in sort of these fragile and torn photo albums, or like they were adhered to different surfaces like religious statues, mirrors, pieces of furniture just kind of like tacked on, pinned or taped onto something. The framed image wasn't really part of my visual vernacular growing up. It challenged me in my practice to think about why I framed my photographs. So with this body of work, it made sense to sort of move away from that. So I started thinking about the textures, the surfaces that a lot of these images were adhered to. So that's why a lot of the works are treated in very specific ways. You have works that are printed on bamboo plywood, adhered to acrylic glass. Some are printed on dye-bond aluminum, really sort of making distinct and thoughtful choices to really reflect my upbringing. So that was a really, I think, pivotal part of the residency and in my practice. The triptych at the end of this exhibition really is sort of a conversation between myself today and myself at different stages of my development, and really sort of coming to terms with the idea that being Latinx and queer aren't mutually exclusive, that they very much are in tune with one another, with my identity and who I am. And what I want folks to take away from this exhibition most of all is to be okay with challenging our histories, being okay with challenging the archive and challenging our histories as a community.